I'm Jen. As a kid, fashion didn't feel like an option for me. It was like clothes, sort of what the available options were. You need something to put on your body, and the options were limited. I grew up wearing adult women's clothes. And I spent my entire 6th grade year wearing a knit blazer, shoulder pads and all, every single day of 6th grade. If it sounds cute, it wasn't, but it was all I had. I've lived in a fat body my entire life. And so it's only been in really the last, 10, 15 years that fashion as a concept felt like it's been available to me, in as much as having options, or any sort of option that allows for an exhibition of a personal sense of style and not just what the only choice is. Today, there are a lot more options available, and I feel grateful to have access and resources to those options so that I can express myself. If I can see this person as being beautiful, then I am allowed to see myself as beautiful in the same way. I do get emotional talking about it because it felt so out of touch for so long. And even now, there are times where, with more options and more access, it's still limited and it's not available everywhere. I can't just go into any store in any corner of the country or the world and assume that I can find something that is going to fit on my body, let alone be an expressive style choice that reflects my personality. I am terrified for what it means for children to be influenced by toxic diet culture, by this idea that diets, that calorie restriction, that weight loss drugs of any sort are appropriate for human bodies that are still growing is terrifying and borderline abusive, perhaps explicitly abusive. Visibility is important because representation matters. People can only, especially young people, can only be what they can see. Again, that idea that it was my consumption of media that I chose that helped me to find the beauty and celebrate the beauty in myself. That happens because of representation. It happened because other women and other people were willing to say, this is my body. The Sonia Renee Taylors of the world saying the body is not an apology. This is it, here it is, and putting it on display is tremendously groundbreaking. And I feel a personal responsibility to contribute to that sort of generational legacy in any way that I can. There, somewhere out there is a poor little chubby girl who's in a women's blazer with shoulder pads who needs to see that it's not going to be like this forever, and there are other ways. I think this notion of, as a function of toxic diet culture, this notion that people, and women in particular, should take up less space, whether that is physical space or emotional space or sound space. You should be small, you should be quiet, you should dedicate your entire life to fighting your biology to keep your body a certain size, because if we keep you busy that way, you won't recognize how powerful you are and the strength that you have and the things that you actually can accomplish as a smart, powerful, independent human being. And so when people forget that, I'm just delighted to remind them.